Okay, guys, obviously you have not had me to teach you anything specifically in person in a while, so I'm going to do my best to try to clarify some of this. For number one, you're substituting, so you're putting something in place of what was originally there. For example, you have a substitute in my classroom right now. They are in place of me. So you are going to take this 2x because y equals it. You're going to put in place of the y in the other equation. What that looks like is 5x minus 2. And instead of 2 times y, it becomes 2 times 2x equals 3. Remember that when you have an equal sign, it means the same as. So y is the same as 2 times x. Now we're just going to finish solving for x. So 5x minus 4x equals 3. So x equals 3. So we're going to put a 3 in for x, and now we need to solve for y. The equation, y equals 2x, we're going to use this one. It's easier. So y equals 2 times 3, since 3 is the same thing as x. So y equals 6. So our coordinate pair is 3, 6. If I were to graph those, that's where they would cross. Number 2, same thing, except instead of in place of y, we're putting in place of x. So 2y plus 3y equals negative 15. So 5y equals negative 15. Divide by 5, and y equals negative 3. So this time, it's y that we have first, and now we need to find for x. X is 3 times y, so x is 3 times negative 3. So x is negative 9. So the coordinate pair is negative 9, negative 3. They start to get a little bit harder because instead of just 2x or 3y, we have an addition problem that's going to go in place of the y. So 4x plus 7, and instead of 7 times y, it's 7 times x plus 9 equals 19. So distributive property, 4x plus 7x plus 63 equals 19. 11x plus 63 equals 19. We're going to subtract 63 from both sides, and I'm running out of room. And 11x equals negative, and yes, I'm going to grab a calculator. It has been a very long day. So 19 minus 63 is negative 44. Divide both sides by 11, and x equals negative 4. So there is our x. Now we need to find y. Y is negative 4 plus 9, so y is positive 5. I know I'm going very quickly, so please pause, rewatch it, do whatever you need to do so you're prepared for the quiz. Last one for this slide, we're going to plug that into this y. So 2 times 6x plus 11 minus 4x equals 14. So 2 times 6x is 12x, 2 times 11 is 22, minus 4x equals 14, combined in like terms. So 8x plus 22 equals 14. In case you're wondering where that 8x comes from, it's the 12x and the negative 4x combined. Subtract 22, and 8x equals negative 8, divide by 8, and x equals negative 1. So negative 1 is our x, and y equals 6 times negative 1 plus 11. Y equals negative 6 plus 11. Y equals 5. We are going to plug negative 7 minus x in for y. So this one, it gets a little bit tricky. The reason why is because you have to remember that minus 8 is the same thing as negative 8. And that there is a negative 1 that's understood in front of that x. So 2x, so a negative times a negative is a positive 56. A negative times a negative is a positive 8x. Combine like terms, 10x plus 56 equals 6. Subtract 56 from each side. 10x equals negative 50. Divide by 10, and x equals negative 5. So for this one, negative 5 is my x, And my y is negative 7 minus negative 5, which gives me double negative, so y equals negative 2. And last one, we're plugging in for x, so 3 times 2y minus 1 minus 2y equals negative 3. Distributive property, so 6y minus 3 minus 2y equals negative 3. So combine like terms, 4y minus 3 equals negative 3. Add 3 to both sides. This doesn't make sense, but hopefully it will. Oh, yes it does. Just kidding. 4y equals 0, divide by 4, so y equals 0. Sorry, guys. All right. Now we're plugging in for x, so x equals 2 times 0 minus 1. X equals 0 minus 1, so x is negative 1. And there's your coordinate pair.